I think it certainly is playing a role, but I think probably more important is what's happening domestically. So I think this whole deleveraging, particularly in the shadow banking sector, has started to weigh on the real economy. We've seen it in the data. And plus, on top of that, the uncertainties around the export outlook now. So I think they felt they had to start to move more authoritatively. And this is important, this triple R cut, Nancy, because the last one was really a big part of it was really to kind of offset maturing medium-term lending facility. Right. This time it's fresh liquidity, the whole amount. And so it is now very clear signs that China is in policy easing mode.
Is it sufficient, or do you think when you talk about policy easing mode that more easing measures will be on the cards very soon?
We think more is in the cards. So our view is these policies work with a lag. We think probably the authorities have estimated the slowing in growth momentum. Economic conditions are probably going to get worse before they get better. And so we expect at least one more triple R cut before the end of the year.
Tell me a bit more about the exports when you talk about those economic conditions, because I know you've been looking at the difference here between the RMB weighted exports and the dollar denominated ones we refer to quite often. There's a gap going on here. What does this tell you, especially as you look at relativity to volumes?
Yeah, it's a bigger gap than people realize. So everyone tends to look at China's exports in US dollar value terms. But what really matters for the economy is the volume of exports. Value of exports is growing over 10%, but you look at the volume, it's growing at 3.5%. And that's quite a big gap. Our view is it's going to remain weak, the volumes, and we think the risk is that Chinese exporters have front-loaded exports in anticipation of all this trade tension. And that front-loading is probably going to come to an end soon. So we're not upbeat on Chinese exports, plus the domestic issues. We think there's more policy easing ahead.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.